4 people, including minors, were injured in a violent axe attack on a train near Paris, according to French media reports citing police sources. One victim reportedly had their hand severed while another had their skull split open. The 2 others were less seriously injured. They were hurt after a fight broke out aboard the French train line in the morning.
Ce qui est ahurissant, c'est que ça se passe à 8 h du matin, jour de rentrée scolaire, puisqu'on vient de passer 15 jours de vacances. Ça veut dire qu'ils s'étaient peut-être donné un rendez-vous là. Donc ce qui est vraiment ahurissant par rapport à ça, c'est que ça veut peut-être supposer qu'ils se rendaient au sein de leur établissement scolaire avec des armes.
The state rail operator said because the train was halted at the station at the time of the incident, the violence did not affect traffic on the line.
Authorities in Aldaya in Spain's Valencia region say rescue and search operations are continuing on Monday following the aftermath of last week's catastrophic flood. Emergency services say they searched the Bonaire shopping center and pumped water out of its underground car park. According to firefighters, the car park had been filled with 260,000 cubic meters of water from the flooding. Earlier on Sunday, military personnel joined residents to clear some streets of mud and wreckage amidst the response. Meanwhile, emergency services in the Spanish capital, Madrid, ramped up efforts over the weekend to help residents affected by the deadly flash flood in Valencia.
La comida lo que hacemos es separarla por categorías, separarla por grupos. En un lado ponemos la pasta, en otro el arroz, latas, comida de bebé, para que cuando llegue a destino no tengan que empezar a buscar, sino que tengan muy claro lo que va en cada caja para hacer un reparto mucho más eficaz.
Valencia was among the areas worst affected by the devastating floods that hit several regions in Spain. Authorities have recovered 217 bodies so far, with 213 of them in the eastern Valencia region.
Catastrophic flooding continues in Spain, with Barcelona airport and the surroundings the latest area to be affected. Videos have been shared on social media of water pouring into a terminal at Barcelona airport. So far, 70 flights have been cancelled and 17 have been diverted to other airports after the rain started this morning.
Moldova's pro-Western President Maia Sandu has won a second term in a pivotal presidential runoff on Sunday. Sandu took more than 55% of the vote in an election overshadowed by claims of interference.
Moldova a fost sub un atac fără precedent pentru istoria întregii Europe. Bani murdari, cumpărare ilegală de voturi, implicarea în procesele electorale a unor forțe ostile din afara țării și a unor grupări criminale, minciuni, inducerea urii și a fricii în societatea noastră. Poporul nostru s-a unit, iar libertatea și cetățenii au câștigat.
Sandu's challenger was the Russia-friendly former Prosecutor General Alexander Stoyanoglu, who finished well behind her with just under 45%. Moldovan police said on Sunday they had reasonable evidence of organised transportation of voters, illegal under the country's electoral code, to polling stations. And the Foreign Ministry said polling stations in Germany and the UK had been targeted by false bomb threats intended to stop the voting process. In the wake of Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022, Moldova applied to join the European Union. It was granted candidate status in June of that year, and in summer this year, Brussels agreed to start membership negotiations. The shift to the west annoyed Moscow, but it denies meddling in the election. Protesters in Belgrade have demanded the arrest of officials just days after a concrete canopy collapsed at a railway station, killing 14 people and injuring 3. Police formed a cordon outside the Ministry of Construction and Infrastructure as several thousand people called for ranking government ministers, including the Prime Minister, to step down.
Ono što smo danas podcrtali bila je odgovornost onih koji sede u vladi i ministarstvima i koji su odgovorni za tragedije koje su se dogodile.
The concrete canopy that ran along the front of the railway station in the northern city of Novi Sad collapsed suddenly on Friday. 14 people were killed, including a 6-year-old girl. The 3 injured, who were between 18 and 24 years old, all had to have limbs amputated. The train station has been renovated twice in recent years, and critics of Serbia's government attributed the disaster to rampant corruption, lack of transparency, and sloppy renovations. Serbia's government has promised a thorough investigation, with prosecutors saying they've already questioned more than 24 people. But critics believe that justice is unlikely to be served, with the government in control of the judicial system and the police.
Wincy Jones, the music producer and composer who worked with Michael Jackson and Frank Sinatra, has died at age 91. His legacy ranged from producing Jackson's historic Thriller album to collaborating with Ray Charles and hundreds of other recording artists. Jones's career spread over 70 years, winning 28 Grammy Awards and being one of the first black executives to thrive in Hollywood. He was named one of the most influential jazz musicians of the 20th century by Time magazine.